Hey guys, I want to make a video talking about what it's like to be the lead guy in the truck shop, because I'm actually the lead guy in our truck shop now. So, I wanted to show you what I'm doing for the day. It's about 8 o'clock, I've been here for an hour, and you can see that there's a square mark on my head. That's still there. Anyways, I was wearing a headlamp, that's why that's there. And you can see that I am sitting next to an RV, and there's another RV to work on. But the one behind us is actually done. We're just waiting on the customer to pick it up. And if I turn around some more, we got a fire truck. But they don't want to fix that either. So what am I doing today? Well, we're doing some wiring repairs here. You can see that this wiring is all messed up. This wiring here sits next to the muffler and the exhaust system, and it's been damaged. This wiring goes to the data link ports here. It's been previously repaired, and I'm trying to fix it again. I'm using these butt connectors that use the they have their own heat shrink in them, and it kind of glues them so they're watertight. I kind of like to solder a lot. Usually I would do a solder repair on this, but my fear is that since it's so close to the exhaust system and I typically use a fairly low melt solder, that we could have some sort of damage, and maybe the solder might melt again and the connectors might come apart. So we're going to be doing that. Also using some Deutsch pins here. These plugs, your data link plugs, they use the Deutsch pins, the same ones that are in the wiring harnesses, except on the 6-pin one. I don't know if you can see the difference in the pin sizes. These pins are bigger than these pins, but these are also Deutsch pins. You can still get them if you needed to repair them, okay? So, let's get back to work. Now, sorry about the mess in this picture. Some of this junk was already in here, like the water bottles and stuff. Obviously, just the tools are mine. Now, what we're going to be doing here is installing a Deutsch pin, which, depending on the size of the wire, can be easy or a little tricky. This wire is a little bit too big for the pin, but it'll fit. But when you put the pin on, you might have one or two stragglers, so just be careful none of them are sticking out. Now, the reason I want to make this video is because I get a lot of comments on my other videos where it's showing the day in the life of a truck mechanic, and since I'm the lead guy now, I kind of want to do an update to that one. I like being the lead guy. I've got a lot more experience, at least with our company, than any of the other guys here. We do have more experienced mechanics, but they've been with the company a very short time. And I like being the lead guy. There's a lot less work as far as fixing stuff, and you can see I'm using the Deutsch crimper here, crimps in 4 spots, as you can see. And all you have to do is insert the pin and crimp it. And going back to being the lead guy, it's kind of nice having the day broken up a lot more. Even though I do less actual work as far as fixing stuff, I spend a lot more time talking to customers, helping other guys out with troubleshooting, getting them pointed in the right direction, giving them work orders, going over quotes, calling customers, things like that. I'd say about 50% of my day is not actually fixing trucks now, but still get a good amount of it. So to install these, all you have to do is slide them in, and it's locked in. Now I'm going to be trying to remove the rear pin there. You can see the new pin. It's a gold color. Now usually there's only one wire that goes to a Deutsch pin. These are a little tricky because they have 2 going to them. So the removal tool, which is this little plastic ring deal, usually would slide over the wire, but since there's 2 wires, it doesn't really work. So it takes a little bit more difficult than normally. So all you're really going to do is try and slide it in there, and it'll release the little tabs. Now, in a little bit, you're going to see a guy walking up. There he is, one of the guys that works under me, or with me, actually. And he was waiting on some parts, and he wanted some help on what job he needed to get to next. So this happens all the time as a lead guy. You're going to be, just keeping your head down, trying to get your job done. And, the other guys need help, or they need, direction on what they're supposed to be doing. And that's kind of where being the lead guy comes in. So the pin's out. Now it's ready to install a new one. This is after I've changed it all. We didn't have any black electrical tape in our Vidmar, so I had to use some purple, unfortunately. And all I got to do now is wrap the electrical wires up with some conduit and get it away from the exhaust, and this job is pretty much done. Now, I already mentioned the fire truck. I kind of wanted to go over it with you here a little bit just because it's such an interesting vehicle. This has a Regen C13. Not the best engine cat ever made, but really tucked under there. They had some exhaust leaks and some overheat codes, and they wanted me to troubleshoot it. And I was trying to get to the engine here, and you can see it's really tucked under there. But this fire truck has a really cool feature in that the cab will actually lift off. But you got to find this button that plugs into the side. So lifting the whole cab up here. This thing tilts all the way up about 90 degrees. So ton of access. I'll show you a picture when it's all the way up. This is a really nice feature for getting to these. Ended up the customer didn't want to fix it. They just wanted me to quote some repairs. So this is with it fully up. So got it fully up, gave them a quote, and they said, hey, we're going to come get it. So at that point, I had to go out and park it again. So I'm going to talk about what it's like being in the driver's seat. So we're sitting in this fire truck here, and you know, there's no air horn handle like in a normal truck. There's an emergency beacon though. If you turn that on, the pedals here are for the horn, and a Q2B is the siren. So if you hit the horn, you can hear it. And the siren here. It's pretty funny. So getting towards the end of the day here, we have a beautiful 3406B here. And looking for a problem in the engine here. Can't seem to find it yet. We're going to cut the oil filter open and see if we can see what the problem is. Now we have a bunch of other trucks. We're actually pretty busy right now in the shop, but we also have this in the shop, which is not just a trailer. This is a power module. This is a 2 megawatt unit generator. We actually have quite a few of these in our fleet. And what it is for remote power to sites, usually construction sites or rock crushing plants. It has a 2 megawatt unit, 3516 cat engine in it. Now, getting back to our oil filter, that's going to lead us to a little section I like to call Okay, so we cut this filter open. This was off that 3406B, and what you're looking at is metal. There is a ton of metal in this. Some came apart. Seems to be bearing material mostly, so he's probably spun either a rod or a main bearing. This engine's going to have to come out. Hopefully that'll be in the next destruction of the week. Thanks for watching.